people? How are you? Today I'm going to talk about Nmap and the problems I have with Nmap. Alright, in the other tutorial you seen we downloaded and installed it, we ran it, and right off the bat we got this. Okay, well, that's okay because I figured out what was going on. Do it again. We'll say Nmap 192.168.1.118, which is my IP. It's like, oh man, stuff ain't going right today. ARP, I think we did ARP too, and ARP was bad. 192.168.1.118. Yeah, so we got it. It was all screwy, right? So, I wonder if netstat worked. Netstat. Yeah, netstat worked. Yeah, netstat worked. Talk about that in a second. Well, anyway, the way that I fixed it, Nmap, was going to Etsy and cat. No. How about we use Vi? You want to use Vi? Vi. Resolve.config. Okay. And this is the way. Yeah, right here. This is the problem. When we set this up, well, when I set this up under an initial, I didn't put the whole script in. Well, I fouled it up. That's basically what happened. So this is how we have it now, okay? And this is why we're not getting any name server resolution, okay? This is how it needs to be, okay? Well, if you don't have a Belkin, then you don't need this. Don't put in Belkin, okay? But I have a Belkin router, so that's what I'm going to put. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete that line, and I'm going to delete that line because they're both bad, okay? Ooh, no, I don't want to do that. By the way, Vi has two modes. If you go through the Vim tutorial, it's built into the program. It's built into your. I'll show you in a second. If you go into the tutorial, it'll show you some great stuff what to do. If you screw up and delete a line, okay, you can bring it back to life. Okay, D is for delete. That's in the what do you call it mode? Not insert mode. If you push D, double D, I think, you delete it. But if you keep it out of, don't go in insert mode, but be out in the regular mode. If you hit P, it'll bring it back. Okay? And you can actually use that as like a copy and paste too if you want to do all that. You know what I'm saying? So, that's cool. I'm gonna get name server P. Yeah, I just deleted the wrong daggone thing. Insert domain Belkin. So let's call and see if domain, I think it was domain name. I hope so. I don't know. It's all red. Domain. I don't know. Domain 192.168.1.1.118 or 101. I think it was domain name. I don't know. That would suck. Name. I don't know. I don't know. Domain. You know what? Let's not be punks, okay? Thank God I can remember it. Quit. Okay? We'll just quit out. We're not saving anything. We'll just quit. Quit with the exclamation point. Okay? Now let's say Vi resolve. Alright, it's all back. Okay? So Vi's still a little tricky for me. And that's okay. Okay? So I'm going to delete this line now. Yeah, I was all screwed up. It was no domain name server. And I'm going to delete that line. Okay? And the commented so they won't run. They'll run now. Okay? Escape, right, quit. Okay? Choky dokie. Now we can say something like nmap 192.1.168.1.10 or 118. Okay? Now this nmap, for some reason, takes a little longer to run, and I don't know if it's because of I got a 900, it's close to 1,000. I got a 1 gigahertz processor, so I don't know if that's why it doesn't run quickly. I have like 500 megs of RAM, so I don't know if that's why it doesn't run quickly. It's an older computer, so I mean, and hey, when I say older, I mean like 1999 motherboard. All right, so I had like Windows Millennium on it. All right, so that's Nmap, and that's what you can do with Nmap. Nmap works now for us, so that's cool. ARP for all, or ARP is address resolution protocol. Okay, it's just taking a while. I'm gonna say ARP 192.168.1.118. No entry for that. There's also another script that was a little funky back here that I didn't fill out. Login access, local time links. No, that's not it. That's not it. That's not profile. It's not profile. RCD. It's not that. Resolve. There's another script in here somewhere. I don't remember where it was. Oh, hosts. Okay. Vi hosts. Let's look at that. I added this line too. Okay. Nmap wasn't working for me because I think maybe of this line too. Okay. So when I set up my script, when I set up my LFS, I didn't really worry about networking too much, and that's okay. You know, I mean, if I worried about networking at the time, it would be another tutorial, and you know how long my toots are. So this was the only one that was present. I added this here. I could probably say something to that. I don't know. I could probably, it's like this has localhost here. I could probably say something like, I don't know, name server, something there. So I don't know. But if you went exactly how I did too, you might have ran into problems like that. So no problems now. Back, or ARP. Let's call ARP. ARP on 192.168.1.118. No entry. Okay. 1.1. Okay. Address resolution protocol. Right. If I ARP this address, this is my home router. Okay. So if I bang that address, this is the MAC address to my home router. Okay. There's some other stuff down here. I'm really not too sure what's going on, but I do know I'm connected to it by Ethernet. Okay. So that's that. I can also bang other computers on the network. I think. I don't know. But what happens if you don't even know that there's another computer on your network, right? So what do? You can use Nmap. You can use Nmap, and you can put in Nmap 192.168.1.118. Okay. Bear with me. It's gonna. Oh, this might take a couple seconds, but that's okay. You can use Nmap to bang around and see what's going on. By the way, there's switches to Nmap. Okay, get in your documentation, your Nmap help directory. There's a ton of junk in there. With this capital O as in Oscar, this capital Oscar will do a OS scan on that address. Okay, so I just OS scanned my address that's at 118, my LFS machine. And Nmap will say, 403, yada yada yada. It says all the ports are closed, or not all the ports are closed, but it shows you the ports that are open, which is a 22, alright, a TCP connection, states open, and services SSH. And if you come down a little bit more, you see that, you know, it generalizes Linux is there, okay, and all that good stuff. All right, so that's cool if you bang your network. What happens if I say I know that I am at 1.118? Okay, now I want to see who else is on my network. So I could do something like say 118 has to 118 exists, okay, because 192.168.1.1 exists. 118 is built on top of 1.1. Okay, that's where my router's at. So say I wanted to bang my router, you would throw in the / 24, which is for octets. Okay, for example, this is 1 octet, this is 1 octet, this is another octet, and this is another octet. Okay, the numbers in this area here are not going to exceed, what is it, 250 yet, are not going to exceed 255, right, or 254. I'm not sure. I'm not really the network guru, but I do understand that this means octets. Okay, so if I scan that on these octets, that means that it's scanning here, here, and here. I think that's right. Okay, but it's scanning the addresses. It's scanning. No, I'm a little wrong. I'm probably way wrong. Okay, the 24 is scanning everything that's under 192.168.1.1. It's scanning all my addresses. Okay, from 1 to 255, I think. 255. Okay, so I just scanned the heck out of my network. Okay, and I threw in the OS option, the capital O, so I can actually see not only the ports that are open on my network, or whoever else is on, who's on my network, but the ports that are open on my network, the operating systems that are on those computers that are on my network. Okay, so I just bang that with the 24, the /24. Okay, so at 1.1 we got our router. Okay, so it banged our router, and that's the MAC address of our router. Device type, wireless access point. It shows us what it's running. Okay, all that good stuff. I have a desktop computer. My Ubuntu desktop is on 1.100. Okay, and it showed all the ports that were open on my desktop computer. Okay, it showed the MAC address of my desktop computer. Okay, GNU, blah 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 blah. Okay, this stuff here is all jumbled up, and I don't really know why, but it's kind of cool that it is, because if I was on some network and somebody decided to nmap me, they would still see my ports and everything, but this stuff here would be all crazy. Okay, and also too, I have another item that is on 103. Okay, and it's an Android phone. Okay, all these ports are closed. Okay, so that doesn't show anything. And I have the LFS machine all the way up at 118. Okay, so that's pretty cool with the Nmap. Yeah, yeah, it scans 256 IPs. Okay, so it scans from 1 to 256. Okay, and it gives you a little thing here, hosts up, all that stuff like that. Okay, so you know, if you feel a little paranoid and you think somebody might be tapping onto your router or something, why not run it? Put it into a little nmap.log, you know, and just let it run crazy in the background. Okay, I'm not going to do it again, but then we can just cat out nmap.log, and so far we got the header, and that's about it. Okay, so that's that. If I shifted that up to 16 octets, I would get a lot more data back. Okay, and if I shifted that even higher to 8, I would get a ton more data back. Okay, I would get a lot of data back. Not only would I get data from my network, but I would also get data from my router that this is coming from my router, but it's coming from my router when I bang in slash 24. Okay, the lower the number, the higher the octet. Okay, so if I banged 24 is this last octet, 16 would be these two last octets, so it's 56 times 256. Okay, so not only would I be scanning my router, which is 1.1, but I'll also be scanning 192.168.238.128. It's not even my network. Okay, so kind of watch out what you're doing. And if you even want to go up higher with 8, you would start running this octet. Okay, so you would run 256 addresses out of here times 256 in here times 256 there. Okay, basically there's a thing on YouTube about Nmap and what's going on with I don't want to say hacker stuff, but somebody decided to be a hacker on YouTube. In one of the conferences, he was talking about Nmap and the securities and everything else like that. But I guess he Nmapped a whole bunch of octets, right? And got a whole bunch of addresses and brought it up to the ISPs that there's a problem with, or something. I don't know, right? But I seen that video and that was kind of crazy. But you can scan more than your network with Nmap. Okay? So be careful, is what I'm saying. You don't want to really get into any trouble and start pinging, the taps on the poles and going out to, what do you call them? Let's see, trace route. I don't have trace route. Okay. Nah, there's no trace route. So, Nmap's good for your own stuff, but be careful. Don't get carried away and decide to start, sending packets to a whole bunch of people's modems. Don't want to do that. Okay, so that's that. That's Nmap. That's ARP. That looks good. We'll talk about Netstat real quick. Netstat by default is it shows you what's going on your ports on your computer. Okay. This is taking a little long, so I'm just going to cut it off because I never hit Netstat bare anyway. I always use the TPULN switches. Okay. And you can check and see what they do, but that just pretty much cuts stuff apart. Alright. It shows I have a TCP connection going on down here at this address. Okay. 0.22. Foreign address. I should have a foreign address on. How come I don't? I don't know. And it shows that it's SSHD server running. Okay. But this says that nobody's connected to me. But that's a bunch of phooey, because I'm connected to me through my Ubuntu machine so I can record this. So let that run for a second. We'll Z it and we'll put it in the background. Alright, so it can do its thing and do whatever it wants to, and we can just keep on going. That's that. Route. I'm not sure how to use this. Okay, but that's the route command. Okay, here we go. This is our Nmap stuff coming back up. Okay. Is this a part of Nmap? I think this is a part of Nmap. Yeah, this is a part of Nmap right here. Okay. Since we background Nmap, or not Nmap, Netstat. Since we background Netstat, it decided to pop up when it was done. So don't. I can't scroll up no more to make it go away. The highlighted area is our Netstat result. That took a little bit, okay? And Netstat's saying that we got a TCP connection, okay, from 192.168.1.118, which is our computer, SSH connection, and the connection is going to a 192.168.1.100 connection. That's the machine I'm actually recording off of, my Ubuntu desktop. Okay, it says it's established down here, where my cursor's at, right here. Okay, established, active domain sockets, all that stuff like that. That's what happens if you hit netstat bare. Okay. Now netstat, like I said, has switches into it, so you can hit TPULN. It doesn't really, it cuts stuff apart, makes it a little bit more readable. It doesn't take as long. Okay. See, cut the L out, and that's going to take a little bit. But the information it puts out really doesn't. It's you got to kind of look around really hard to find it. Okay. But TPULN just cuts stuff apart and puts it kind of in a nice little area where you can find it. Okay. Okay. We all know about ping. Ping. 192.168.1.118, and this will just go on forever. Okay. You see, we have our packets are transmitted or packets received. You can ping a device on the network if you think that it's there. Okay. You can do that. I'm just pinging my router right now. All right. You can throw a count into it so that you don't actually have to sit there and stop it any time by saying count 3. That's built into ping, so that's only going to go for 3 times. Okay, and we got no loss. Now, before in other tutorials, you might have seen too that I might have sent 3 packets out, and I might give it like back 2. Okay, and I might actually have a loss record of like you know, maybe 33%, something like that. I'm just saying some packets got dropped. Okay. But it shouldn't get dropped if you're hardwired, but the reason why mine got dropped is basically I was SSHing into another computer with a wireless, and that was feeding out into my phone hotspot, so there's a lot of breaks, and there's a lot of addresses going on. So with that amount of addresses, you would expect to have some type of loss. Well, actually, I wouldn't expect to have some type of loss, but my phone's not the best device for connecting to. It's just a little guy. It's a Droid. It's great. I love Droid. So that's that. I can remove my nmap.log, right? Okay. Also too, you can do some funky stuff with SSH. Okay. For your network, you would say ifconfig. Let's say ifconfig. This is our ifconfig table. I don't know if we went over that earlier, but we did install it. I don't think we did anything with it. It says here like ETH0, right? ETH1. Yours is probably ETH0, alright? But as you remember, my network card, I got 2 network cards and one took a dump. So this one works. Alright, the other one's not coming up because it's not hooked up, okay? Well, this is plugged into slot 1 or slot 2 on the motherboard. Alright, so it's registering as ETH1 because it's in the 2nd slot. Alright, and your low is your loopback. Alright, that's your loopback. Okay, that's your network card itself. You can use that. You can ping that for things, just to actually test and see if your network card is bad or not. Okay, you can say ping. Let's count 3 times. We'll say 127.0.0.1. That's only internal. Okay, it's not going to go anywhere. All right. So that's that. Now, if I pinged it and I didn't get any response, what would happen? If I pinged it 3 times and it said 100% loss, I have a problem with my network card. Okay. Now, if I ping it and it says timeout, I don't know. Check your data on that. I don't know. But if I ping it 3 times and it times out, I don't know. But if you ping it and you get anything other than a quick response, you have a problem with your network card, or maybe it's the driver that's driving it, something such as that. Okay. rc.d services sysconfig. That's that. Links. That's that. IP route 2. What is IP route 2? IP route 2. What's in here? I don't think anything's in here. Yeah, there's stuff in there. RT tables. I don't know. I don't want to hit anything. See what's going on. I don't hit none of that stuff. Your fstab naturally. Cat fstab real quick. This is not a networking command. This is just your file system table. Okay. If you clone your hard drive like I did in the previous tutorial, you have to change this, right? Okay, because it's going to pick up whatever that clone is. Okay, so remember that. Say if you cloned HDA1, okay, and you put it on HDB2, when you go to run your OS, it's going to pop up HDB2 or HDA1. Alright, well that's not correct, because that's not really the truth. Okay, so you need to edit that, and you can edit that with vi. Just say vi, fstab, okay, and you'll get around that. Alright, some SSH. Let's say SSH into, what can I do? I can show you something really cool, really fast. And what I'm going to do is, SSH is great. Golden. It's the best thing next to sliced bread. Okay. Not only can you remote any other machines, but you can also copy stuff. Okay, so it's a secure copy. All right, you can do something like SSH. I'm gonna go and say Dougie, which is my home machine I'm actually recording off of. Okay, and that address is 1.100. What do I want to do? I don't only want to connect to it. I want to send a command to it. I don't know if I can do it right now, but let's say eSpeak. I don't know if you're familiar with eSpeak though, but hi there, hi there, homie. Okay, and press enter, and let me see what'll happen. You do new. It won't be long now, but you can I don't know if this is the way that you send. I don't remember if this is the way. I really don't send commands to my other computer. Shh. Listen, see what happens if we can hear it. Hi. Whoa. Very sorry if that blew your ears. It sure as heck blew mine. That's what you can do. Okay. We won't do that again. I'm very sorry about that. That was kind of cool. Alright, so you can send commands over SSH. Alright, so you can say something like, SSH, Dougie at 192.168.1.100, and the command would go in here. Okay, so you would say echo, echo, I don't know, maybe cat into a file, or maybe just echo. I have problems with saying echo shutdown, okay, but you can shut down your computer remotely. Okay, actually it doesn't, it's just a configuration with SSH, but I can't execute these sudo commands like shutdown or reboot remotely through SSH, and I think it's only a configuration because I've seen that they've done it before, so that's not a problem. Cool thing about the networking commands too, what I'm going to do is I got a laptop too running that I'm going to jump into in 1 second. What I could do is I could just SSH from here, okay, over to the laptop. Okay, but I have to watch. I don't have a lot of tunnels, you know what I'm saying, because I'll start getting the stuff all backwards and packets may be lost. Okay, now with 3, that would mean I would have 3 tunnels, so there would be lag somewhere, and if there's lag somewhere, you have a chance of packets being lost. You really don't want that data out in the information. You don't want that out there that long, okay, because anything could burp. That means you have 3 different devices that you're depending on to, bring back the, to return the data properly, okay. And if you're all hardwired with, Cat5 or something like that, okay, but, well, this one is a wireless card, okay, and, there may be some type of interference, and a bit could get misplaced, and if a bit, you could drop a packet, okay. So you really don't want to SSH through too many computers, okay? But say I did SSH through 2 computers, okay? Basically, you know, we got computer 1, we got computer 2, we got you know, computer 3, you know, and PC 4. Okay, all these, this is all going to go through here. All goes through here. You know, it's going to go through computer 1. Computer 1 is going to have the connections of computer 1 plus this connection here, and this one's going to have this connection here, and this one's going to have all these connections. Okay, and then let's say we wanted to, I don't know, connect back to computer 0, right? Or no, 1. So we want to connect back to computer 1. Well, that's a massive loop. That's a massive loop. Okay, a massive amount of breakpoints that with those systems could go wrong, and you really don't want to have all those tunnels. Okay, so I'm going to just exit out of LFS. Now the commands I'm going to be using here are about the same. There's nothing different about them. In my Ubuntu machine, I'm in. Let me sudo first. Sudo su. Okay, my commands are the same that I'm going to use. I'm not going to use any crazy commands or programs. Okay, but I'm going to say ifconfig, just how we have on our LFS machine. Okay, got these 2 connections right here. Okay, if you see, this is my Ubuntu machine, is 1.1. Okay, 127.0. I want to show you how to do an SSH and bind ports. Okay, I have a machine at I could say SSH Doug, that's the user, at 192.168.1.101. That is my laptop machine. Okay, and I think on that machine I have a server. Okay, so if I bound it, I could bind it to Linux from scratch. Maybe I could bind it. I don't think so, because then I'd have to be able to pick it up. I'm not sure. Let's go see. SSH root. I think I can bind it to my LFS machine. 1.0 or 118. Okay. See, right here you got conflicts with your keys. I showed you how to clean them out. I'm not going to clean them out. I showed you how to clean them out. Okay. I might be able to bind the external server. I might be able to bind port 80, okay, to this LFS machine. And I might be able to do it through localhost. Okay. Basically, I'm going to say SSH. I know I have a remote machine somewhere. Okay, and that's at this address here, Doug at 192.168.1.101. I know he's there. And I think he has a server up. Actually, I don't know why I'm talking like that, but I know it has a server up, okay, because I did an nmap before and found out that there was a server up on port 80, okay, and I showed you how to do that with the O, the capital O for OS, and port 80 was open at this address. .1.101. Okay, port 80 was open over there. Alright, so I can just say SSH listen on port 8888, okay, which is actually going to be my localhost port 8888. Okay, I'm going to listen on that, and I want to say 192.168.1.101. That's going to be the address of the machine I'm listening on and I want to listen to their port 80, okay, and I don't know if it might be a space, I might be wrong, but then also too I have to log into it to listen to it, so I want to log into Doug at 192.168.1.1.101. Okay, I don't know, maybe it'll work, or am I missing a colon somewhere? I don't know, I don't remember. But basically what I'm doing is I'm grabbing their port 80, okay, and kind of teeing it off, and I'm going to make it bound to my own local host at 127.0.0.1. I'm making their port 80. Yeah, here we go. 5.3. Okay, that's SSH in. Let me see if I can background this. Ooh, I can't background that. I can't background it. What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? I'm going to exit is what I'm going to do. Okay. In order for that really to work out fine, you would need two terminals going. I can't record two screens for you. I can, but I'm not going to record two screens for you. Yeah, I don't want to record two screens for you. And can't open it up. You know what? I can do it. What am I talking about? I can just pop open out a terminal on this TTY, right? Sure. Sudo SSH back into our LFS machine. Okay. And I'm just going to pull up another window. So, I know I'm hearing you. Come on already, Jesus God. Hey, you talk so daggone much. I got two windows now. Okay, there's actually a program you can use to split that, but I don't want to use it because it has a little draw to it. It can be not as heavy, but it can be a little heavy at times. Okay, it's called Screen. And why is it heavy? I have no idea, but sometimes it does get heavy. Okay, on the LFS machine, let's shrink it up a little bit so we kind of get the illusion of two things going down. Okay, on the LFS machine, I can say SSH, okay, and I'm going to listen on port 8888 colon, okay, and the address I want to listen to, or I'm going to be listening on port 8888, localhost 8888, okay. I'm going to bind this address to that port 101 and their port 80, okay. And I'm going to say I have to log in with Doug 192.168.1.101. Correct. Okay. So while that's going down, I'm going to come down here and clear this up, and I'm going to SSH into my LFS machine at root at 192.168.1.1.0.118. Okay, because I didn't background this job up top. Okay, and I really don't need to. I could have backgrounded it, but I'm not. Okay, I'll just show you two windows. Okay, so up here it's calling for us, and we type in our password 5.3. Okay, and that's that. Okay, so now we're bound to it. Well, we think we're bound to it. Alright, you can open up another screen, and you can say netstat dash TPULN. And we see here now from our other netstat, you've seen that we got, okay, SSH was running, okay, but down here we got something funky going on. Okay, we got our local host, okay, that we just quote, people just think you use as a loopback, and that's it. it's actually got something on it. Okay, it's got a port open on it. Alright, and it's listening. Okay, so if we do something like, say, links 127.0.0.1, port 8888, pull this up, there we go. Okay, we're tunneled and bound. Okay, this is not our, we're not connected to the address, crapo, almost custoded, ifconfig. We are not connected to this address here. Okay, this is not what we're doing. We're not SSH, or we're not accessing a server. Okay, we have a server bound to us. Okay, this server is on our computer. It's not like we got to go out through port 80 or anything else to get to it, or it's not in the universe. It's bound to our computer. It's still shared by the universe, but we teed it off and we bound it to our computer. Okay, and that's pretty daggone cool. Alright, I don't have any mouse support enabled for this LFS, so I got to just go up and down and all around. It's bound to our computer, so our package lists, okay, is now, it's tunneled into our computer. And that's how you do some SSH tunneling. Okay, and binding. This is old apps. Look here, what's in here? HT. What is this? See, in a nutshell. Okay, that's books. Okay, that's that server. All right, that's his. This is my remote. It's on my laptop. Right. Now, I bind a lot. You might have firewalls and stuff like that that may mess you up. Okay, you can bind your server and come out, and actually this is not going to work for me, is it? No, it's not going to work for me. Instead of links, I'm going to drop the color off. Okay, and I'm going to say links with an I. This here, I put this up here as a gateway. Okay, say for instance, if you're in an area, say that has restrictions on certain sites, like say maybe not Google, but YouTube or something. I don't know, but say you're in an area, okay, that you cannot get out to the universe, or you can't check Facebook. Perfect example. Okay, you can't check your Facebook without having to go through some proxy at wherever you are. Well, if you had a DNS server, okay, set up at home, you could SSH into that DNS server from home. Okay, like this. You could SSH into your DNS at home. Okay, there's probably, you know, there might be some restrictions, or that the IT guys might have cut that route off, but I kind of doubt it. You know what I mean? Okay, say you SSH into your DNS at home, okay, and you take and you bind the ports, okay, from your DNS at home to your computer or your laptop right now, wherever you are. Okay, bind those ports, and all you got to do is go back through it, say links, and bang it to your local host. Okay, at port 8888 or whatever port you bound to, and you could hit that, and that's Google. Okay, alright, so it's it's kind of like setting up like you would use your home service or your home router as a proxy, okay, to get out. Alright, so that's what you would do, or that's binding of your ports. You can bind your ports. Okay, also to make sure though, when you do go in, okay, you need to have a port to bind to on your local machine. Alright, and if you want to connect to it with links as a browser, you want to specify the whole string, the whole path, okay, and you specify the port, because if you don't specify that port, what's going to happen is you're just going to bang into the local host, and there's nothing there, okay. It is at that address, but it's at this port of the address, okay. Now let me stop this here, and I'm going to exit and drop that connection, and I'm going to drop the bind, okay. So now if I go back to it, oh no, nothing happened, because there's nothing there, because we unbound what we have already binded. Okay, that's cool. That is super. One more thing else too I want to show you. Whoa, what the heck? Okay, make that a little bigger. One more other awesome thing. Let me shrink this up a little bit. By the way, if you hold down Control and you hit Control Shift plus, you get bigger and smaller. One more other thing. Let's say we're going to SSH into a different computer on our network, 192.168.1.101. Okay, I could have left the other connection open, but I did. Oh, while the process is going down, I guess you can't shrink your screen. That's okay. When it pops up, we will. Say if the imponderable task of you connecting, and say if you're like a millionaire or lucky lottery winner or something like that, say if your MAC addresses are the same, what's going to happen to you? Okay, you ever thought about it? No, because they all say that MAC addresses are unique to every device and machine. Well, this is true. Well, we presume it to be true. I don't know if it's true. Never ran into the issue. But I will tell you that sometimes it might not be true. Okay? They say that a MAC address is only for certain specific machines. But what happens if maybe, you know, Thailand and Denmark aren't talking right, and they create a machine, a device with a MAC address that may be the same? Who knows? Okay, but say you have two MAC addresses that are the same on the network. What's going to happen is packets are going to get all kind of confused. Okay, it probably won't run. I don't know. Okay, but in order to spare yourself, change your MAC address. Okay. I don't know if it'll be permanent, but for temporary use anyway, you can change your MAC address. Let me show you how to do that now. First, you want to down your card. Okay, I'm going to down this wireless interface over here. ifconfig will say WILAN-O down. Okay, no, permission denied. Sure, why not? Sudo su. Okay, we'll say ifconfig. That's our info right there. I'm going to say ifconfig WILAN-O down. Now, if we say ifconfig again, we see that we don't have a WILAN-O card, okay? Because we downed it. Because that's what we wanted to do. In order to work on anything, you need to down it first, or it's not going to stick. We say ifconfig WILAN-O, okay? Hardware. Let's bring it up one more time because people are like, no, I don't believe you. So, why not? WILAN-O up. ifconfig. Remember, my MAC address is 88.9FFA35CF44. Okay? That's my MAC address. ifconfig WILAN-O down. You don't need no fancy program for this, man. Just do the thing. ifconfig again, WILAN-O is down. And we'll say ifconfig WILAN-O hardware ether and pick a number. Not all numbers are going to go through. Okay, some will be denied to you, but some won't be denied to you. Let's say 0011 2233 4455. Device are busy, might need to down the interface. ifconfig. No, it's not down. Why wasn't that down? Thought I downed you. Get down. ifconfig. That's what happened if you don't down it. Okay? So we said ifconfig WILAN-O hardware ether, and that's the MAC address we want to put in. ifconfig while back up, ifconfig again, and that's our new MAC address. Okay, so in order to avoid collisions at some time in life, you might need to change your MAC address. Okay, and that's what you do. Now, the reason why I did it on while there's no difference. I could have changed the MAC address of my Ethernet card here, okay, my hardwired card. I could have changed that MAC address. That's not a problem. So you can not only, it's not that you can only change while interfaces. You can change any daggone thing you want. Okay, I don't know if you can change a loopback, but hey, probably. Well, no, it doesn't have a MAC address. I don't know. All right. But it's not specific that I did that only to while. But I will tell you, if I did change the MAC address to my Etho, alright, I would have lost internet connection because my router is set to MAC filter. Alright, so basically my router says I have a list of MAC addresses that my router can only broadcast, or that I have a list of MAC addresses that my router will accept and only accept them. Okay. So if your MAC address is not on the ticket, you're not going to get in my router. Well, through that way. Okay? So that's that. But like I said, it is possible to change your MAC address. And you can go surfing, I guess, with a different MAC address. And that's it. Okay? Thank you for watching. Have a great day. Yeah, I'm back again. Kill this off. Clear. Clear. Exit. Exit again. List. Desktop. PSOX. This is what happens when you don't know what you're doing for video-wise. And you should have did it on another screen like you did before. Have a super day. 79.93.